Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and as you can see we're getting right into the match. We are spectating Tyton on the final day of the ladder season, so this is going to be some top ladder 3.0 Xbow Cycle gameplay. There are only about 45 minutes to an hour left in the season, so he is very high up on ladder in Ultimate Champion right now. And going up against CHN Polaris, actually looking like it could be a possible good matchup against maybe P.E.K.K.A. Bridgespam here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there's the Phoenix, of course. So literally everyone and their mother is playing Phoenix, and even Monk. So I'm really curious to see how Tyton has success, because he has consistently been the highest 3.0 Xbow Cycle player in the world this season. And in the last few seasons, honestly, Betfist hasn't really been playing it as much. So Monk played at the bridge by Polaris here, and so Polaris is actually kind of a known user of Phoenix and Monk. Really impressive log there by Tyton. He controls these eggs so well as well, Phoenix eggs, and he does go for an Xbow because he has the counter-pushing archers. Barbarians played opposite lane, and then E-Barb. So this is looking like it's not going to be a terrible matchup, because it looks like Polaris doesn't really have a big spell, but at the same time, Tyton's going to have trouble connecting as well, because Polaris has Phoenix, he has Monk, and he has E-Barbs. He also has Magic Archer, which is like a win condition. It's a way to get damage, because Battle Ram will pretty much never connect against a good 3.0 Xbow Cycle player. But Magic Archer definitely can in many scenarios, like even against one Archer or even one Skeleton. If you split Skeletons, they can Magic Archer it at the bridge. So Polaris, actually, I've seen him been playing E-Golem, Mirror, Phoenix Healer, like some ridiculous decks, like definitely abusing the meta. But interesting he's playing this Bridgespam deck now, but still, as you can see, Monk and Phoenix there, and Tyton is like top 100 in the world right now, so this is going to be the top echelon of gameplay. And I'm just hoping to catch his final end season games, honestly, to share with you guys, because as you may or may not know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I usually like having the best 3.0 Xbow Cycle players on, because they're a great little example to learn from. For example, 7-4 back in the day, Betfist numerous times, now Tyton. I've actually had Tyton on the channel multiple times too, like he had his number 11 ladder finish with Queenbow. I had him on for that, so I have had Tyton quite a few times. He's an amazing player, and this is looking like it's going to be a decent situation. I think he's back to a knight now, so should be able to protect this Xbow relatively well. Does actually choose to go Skeleton's log instead, and that is going to be almost a connection. Magic Archer comes down just in the nick of time, but second Xbow back on the field for Tyton. Monk comes down, unfortunately, so that is just going to fully hard counter the Xbows. You can see it literally makes it attack itself, which is really dumb, but damage is done. Really nice lock in the right out of Tyton, and Xbow is still alive. So something I've noticed and learned from Tyton is that even though Monk basically hard counters an Xbow, if you still defend the Xbow towards the end of the Monk's ability, you can still get a small lock, and he actually does get the left side tower down to 2000 HP as well, so actually kind of even. And wow, Polaris here goes for late E-Barbs, does not get them down in time, so Tyton is protecting this Xbow with everything he has, and that is basically going to be tower down. So really impressive stuff against a Monk Phoenix deck. Just the control of the Phoenix eggs, the playing around the Monk, everything is just perfect from Tyton. So that is going to put him at rank 56 in the world with 45 minutes left. Alright guys, getting into the next match against SK Flobby here. I am about a minute late to the match. Unfortunately, I had to reply to one of my friends on Twitter. But here we go, we are up against Monk Phoenix Graveyard. What have I been saying? Literally everyone is playing Monk and Phoenix in basically every deck. So Tyton not playing with a champion, not playing with the Phoenix either. Just really impressive. He's always so consistent with 3.0. Definitely one of the most underrated 3.0 players in the world. If you guys don't know about him, I've always been ranking him about top 5 or so in the recent months. Or even year, but he definitely could be a contender for top 3 or even number 1 in the world right now, based on how he's doing. Like, he's insane. But really aggressive Graveyard out of Flobby there. Tyton might counter push with an Xbow here, and he does. I don't think Flobby's going to be back to a Monk anytime soon, so does go for a bomb tower late, which doesn't actually take the targeting of the Xbow, so Tyton is just going to get a big connection here, getting all his damage back and more. Poison coming down from Flobby will take the Xbow out, but Tyton still maintains the damage lead, so just a pretty basic Graveyard deck. I mean, Ice Spirit Goblins are really good. Goblins are amazing after the buff. If you guys didn't know, the 2 Goblins, I even made a ladder video with 3.0 using Goblins instead of Skeletons, like, because there are 4 now. They're mainly super good at taking out opposing Graveyards, and Graveyard is everywhere in the meta right now. That might be one reason why 3.0 isn't that bad. Okay, Xbow does actually lock on, so Flobby was expecting the Monk to take the targeting of the Xbow, but actually has to go for a late Executioner. Tyton just logs it back, retargets onto the Knight, and that is going to be a huge lock in the right, even bigger than the lock he got in the left. And because of that aggressive graveyard, Flobby didn't have enough elixir to play a poison in time, which means Tyton is just going to be able to get away with archers on that defense. And now back to another Xbow. Bomb Tower XZ comes down. We might see a fireball here. Yeah, we do, exactly. Something I noticed about Tyton, he loves this fireball value. He always takes it if he can. That's going to be on tower. Flobby did not have enough for a monk, and that is basically going to be game. So just really nice pressure out of Tyton, you know, capitalizing on Flobby's mistakes perhaps, but also just really well played overall. A bit late to the match, but we didn't miss too much. Most of the action happened while we were here, so that is going to be another consecutive win for Tyton. Let's see where that puts him in the world. Number 40 now, so really impressive. Alright guys, so we're getting into the next match against Pedro, and oh no, Pedro is one of my friends and one of the best Mortar players in the world. He's always been doing well with it, and I believe he's actually playing it with the Phoenix. So this is going to be really tough for Tyton right here. I also talked to Tyton. He told me that school starts in like 20 minutes, so he's actually going to stop playing when it starts. He's just playing till then, and his goal is just a top 30 finish, so he's just hoping to get a few wins and then just going to stop for the season. So yeah, defensive Mortar comes down. Like I said, Pedro, one of the best Mortar players in the world, and he kind of knows what he's doing because, unfortunately, if you just spam defensive Mortars the whole time and then get minor chip on the tower, there's nothing the 3.0 player can really do. So it's going to be a very tough matchup, honestly. One good thing, though, is that Mortar was nerfed in terms of HP, so that means if Tyton can get like a last-second fireball on a Mortar, for example, that can definitely serve him well. So Valk comes down, and I'm pretty sure Pedro's last card is going to be a Phoenix. He does usually play with the Queen in that slot in this deck. But yeah, really smart miner as well out of Pedro, doing double duty, tanking for the Knight and the Xbow. As you can see, he really knows what he's doing there. Tyton does get a small connection for his troubles, but nothing too major. And this is looking tough, because basically all Pedro has to do is survive single, and then he can start being more aggressive with his miner, sometimes even poison on tower. Defensive Mortars will always help out, and Phoenix will... I guess Phoenix is actually worse in this matchup than Queen, I would have to guess, because... I mean, Queen gives them 3-card cycle, and it's also really annoying for our Xbow to deal with, whereas Phoenix, it is really annoying to deal with, but 3.0 does have the tools. We have the cycle cards, the archers, the Tesla. The real issue is when it's paired with other big pushes, like Eagle and Mirror Spam. But Pedro doesn't have any of that. His only real push could be like a Valk Phoenix deck or a Valk Phoenix push or a minor Phoenix push. So that is one good thing about this matchup, at least. Although Phoenix is also really good at defending Xbows, so we'll see. That Mortar is in fireball range. I'm sure we'll see a fireball. Although one thing I've noticed is that as the game gets later and later, Tyton prefers to start going in aggressively instead of fireballing the Mortars every time, especially if they're played in the anti-fireball position. So Ice Spirit there played to kind of predict the miner doesn't come down. Miner comes down in the left, actually, supporting the Phoenix egg, so is going to have to force response. Yeah, Ice Spirit does come down. Like I said, Tyton has immaculate control over those Phoenix eggs. He always makes sure they don't hatch. Another Fireball comes down just because he's not really up too much elixir. He just wants to play it safe, but I'm sure if Pedro keeps on going defensive Mortars, eventually Tyton will just go in and start being more aggressive. He actually does go in right here. Valk was cycled out of Pedro, so really good time to go in because no big tank in cycle. Really high log value, and that is actually going to be on tower. Really huge for Tyton there. Going to be a lock, and that's going to skyrocket him into the lead by about 1,000 damage. So really, really nice lock there. Recognizing that the Valk was just cycled by Pedro, so the main Xbow tank, and also just that he had a small counter push, I guess, and also the defensive Mortar was about to die. That's what I was trying to say. But interesting Tesla placements here. He's always going for these low Teslas. I think what he's trying to do with them is not only take out the Phoenix, but also help against any future miners. And again, Tyton goes in. The Q there was Valk cycled, and Mortar gets taken out. So we might see this Valk getting kited out of Xbow range, potentially. Okay, no, Xbow's basically dead. So unfortunately, Poison plus Log basically kills a full Xbow. Tyton still goes in right here, like I was saying. It's getting later in the match. He doesn't want to just keep fireballing. He does fireball that time, though, and that is going to be on tower. So, oh my god, amazing skeletons out of Tyton. And he's starting to BM, so really, really smart there. Like I said, I actually talked about this at the start, right? The Mortar nerf means that those last-second fireballs could maybe catch Pedro off guard, because Mortar has less HP now. Tyton is BMing, I guess, because this is a bad matchup, or he has some sort of history with Pedro. I'm not sure. I'm kind of friends with both of them, so I can't really say on that matter. But he does win in an incredibly difficult matchup against the Phoenix again. Every single match has been against Phoenix so far. So real impressive. Number 39 in the world and 1 win away from 2,700 rating. Alright guys, so I messaged Tyton and he said he has time for one more match, unfortunately. So he's number 39 in the world, I believe, before this. Vinicius is playing Royal Giant. As soon as you hear the Fisherman, you already know it's going to be RG. So the real question is it going to be Monk RG or a different type? He goes for the Xbow, trying to scout out what Vinicius has. Skarmy does mean it could actually be Skeleton King instead of Monk, which would be huge because, like I said, Monk hard counters Xbow, and when they have Royal Giant 2, it's impossible to get a lock. But if it's a different version, you know, with the Skeleton King, then that's definitely going to be winnable. Even if he has the Phoenix, it's going to be annoying, but I believe Tyton is good enough to beat that, of course. Mother Witch comes down, unfortunately going to spawn an annoying Cursed Hog, and Log is not in cycle either for this, so we're going to have to play a Knight for the Cursed Hog and Mother Witch, but still no damage taken, and actually kind of in the lead is Tyton, and he actually outcycled the RG, so yeah, it is going to be Skelly King plus the Phoenix. Archers come down, Ice Spirit 2, and he might actually get a small lock here. Does force the Skarmy out in the right, because the Knight was going to get a pretty decent connection, and this Phoenix is going to get taken care of easily. Might have to see a response to that Skarmy. We do see the log. So Tyton does get the lead, and really interesting what you saw him do there. He went Xbow super early on, baited the RG out, and then outcycled the Royal Giant big time. Unfortunately, Vinicius did have the Phoenix, which is a very good Xbow counter, especially when paired with something with high HP like the Skelly King. But still, you saw what he was going for there. So Skeleton cycled. I don't know if Mother Witch is back in cycle or not. If it is, going to be very annoying. Xbow again, just to force the RG out, I guess, and maybe to prevent Vinicius from going for Mother Witch on those skeletons. If he had it back in cycle, I wasn't actually counting. But you notice he always goes for archers on these RGs. That's basically the play you want to make. You don't want to Tesla the bridge against RG at all. You kind of want to let your Xbow die, and then go archers to get some high DPS on it as soon as possible. Tesla does come out, make sure the Cursed Hogs don't make any sort of connection, and Tyton is still maintaining a pretty strong lead right now. Not by too much, but Vinicius has Fireball Log 2. Unless he has Lightning, that's going to make it a very hard matchup, but pretty sure he's playing Fireball. Most RG players these days are. And archers come out high to start sniping, and skeletons too to distract, so Vinicius might be setting up for an RG push here. Really good Fireball value there. Might see a log on all of this, including the egg. Really smart out of Tyton, and RG in the back. So will we see an Xbow right now to Tyton? He does split archers at the same exact time, so unfortunately I don't think he can. Maybe if he didn't split archers he would have been able to go in, but just because he split archers he was already kind of down 3 in a way. So I guess he just wants to play this defensively. Like, personally, I kind of struggle with RG sometimes. I win this matchup about half the time, and then I lose half the time. So I really want to see what Tyton does to kind of control this. And he has a lot of DPS on the RG in the left. Notice how he lets it get one hit, though. Doesn't overcommit because he recognizes Vinicius is getting back to a second RG. So he has to defend it. And then Knight, Tesla, Ice Spirit, Skeleton is getting that DPS on the RG. Very important. And that is going to be no hits, actually. Very nice. He's going to have to respond to this Fisherman. I wonder if he would have gone in if he didn't have to respond. He does actually go in now. Notice how he shoved his Xbow up by 1 tile because it is in the left lane, so he doesn't want Vinicius to get Fireball value on the Xbow and his weaker side tower. Does have to Fireball up high, but that is still going to be a small connection. Log forced out too, but the damage is done. And Ice Spirit Skeletons, I noticed Tyton does this play a lot. It actually gets like 3 skeleton hits on the tower. I didn't know that, but very interesting. I might have to start doing that myself. Especially when I'm just trying to cycle, right? But he just always kind of discovers these things. So RG in the back on the right. Will we see an Xbow? No, we see a defensive Xbow. So Tyton kind of recognizes it's about to be triple elixir. There's no chance he's going to get a connection. Instead, all he has to do is defend perfectly, and this could actually secure him a very nice finish. Like, I think he'll get 27-20 rating or something. Will be very impressive. But Fireball off on the Mother Witch instantly, and enough DPS on the RG to the point where it's taken out before it does any major damage. Gonna have to get a log down on this Phoenix Egg plus Skelly King ability. Skeletons to make sure the Phoenix doesn't respawn. So Tyton always commits against those Phoenix Eggs and making sure that it doesn't respawn ever, because it'll be very problematic if it does. Archer sniped the Mother Witch. Should get taken out actually. Yeah, nice. So this should be a win. There's only 30 seconds left. I don't see how Vinicius can break through if Tyton defends perfectly, which he has been the entire game. So Tesla down. Ice Spirit for the Cursed Hog. Fisherman does not pull the Knight, very huge because Knight is able to stay on the RG. Second Tesla, so high Fireball required out of Vinicius, otherwise Teslas will take the RG out. And now Tyton just Fireballs the Mother Witch because he knows he doesn't need to Fireball Tower. I believe he's getting back to a Fireball anyways though, and archers actually get onto Tower. Fireball 2, Vinicius is very mad, giving the CRL emote, but yeah, that's not even a great matchup. Like, with the Phoenix especially, like, Vinicius is playing broken cards, and Tyton just destroyed him, so impressive stuff, amazing stuff there. Out of Tyton, that is going to be his final match of the season. Again, I've been messaging him, and that's what he said. So let's take a look at where he is going to be in the world to finish things off. Number 32, 2717 rating, number 32 in the world, unbelievable, really impressive, and just insane, honestly. Only 18 minutes left in the season, so this is probably going to be a top 40 finish. You know, a bit higher than he wanted, but still, you know, considering he has to go to school and everything, this is still incredible stuff out of Tyton. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to wrap up the video for Tyton's end season games. I believe he finished number 34 in the world at the end of the season, which is unbelievable stuff. I might be wrong, but I'll write it in the description of the video either way, like where he finished, and I'll link his tweet and everything too. But I have this one replay against Boss. I just wanted to include it. I'm kind of narrating this in post. You know, I already edited the main video. I decided to include this because the other video was only like 15 minutes or so without this replay. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys this one final replay against another overpowered deck, E-Giant Mirror with Phoenix, and Tyton kind of destroyed Boss here. So I just wanted to include this one for you guys. So as you can see, Mirrored Phoenix coming down, and Tyton can't even go in with an Xbow. I think he would go in, but Boss does have the cannon on the board, so he can't afford to. So instead, just archers to full defend. Phoenix does not go in front, actually, so E-Giant is tanking for the Phoenix, level 15 Phoenix there, but very impressive skeletons to snipe the bomber and distract the Phoenix and cut it all the way. Like, this micro out of Tyton is just insane, and that's going to be a dead egg. I don't think he has to respond to that, so he might actually be able to go in right here because E-Giant was just played. Actually, yeah, he just used mirror as well, so it looks like Tyton's just choosing to play it safe though. Pretty interesting. And again, I'm not watching this replay live, I'm watching like my recording of it, but I'm basically reacting to it in the same way, so it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, again, I just wanted to include this one because it's another toxic deck in the meta. Boss is a very good player, so it's a perfect example of how to play. Skeletons down in time for the Phoenix, as well as Ice Spirit. Golden Knight Dash comes down, not sure what that was doing though, because it does get him damage, but kind of ignoring the main issue here, which is this Xbow connection, so that's going to be a huge lead for Tyton. And he honestly kind of already won. I mean, Boss does have Lightning Mirror in this deck, which is very annoying, but Tyton already has a huge lead, so if he defends well, which I'm very confident he can, he will just be able to walk away with this win. So yeah, again, Tyton did finish number 34, which is unbelievable, like the highest out of any Xbow player in that meta, I'm pretty sure. And also, with 3.0 only, like no Queen, no Rocket, whatever, just staying true to classics. And a lot of you guys ask me, like, you know, what's the best Xbow deck? 3.0 is dead, it's impossible to play. I agree, it's super hard to play, but Tyton is living proof that with enough dedication, you can always play well. He's like 7-4 or Lemon Tree before him, like always doing well, no matter what the meta is. Like, it's just very inspirational. Log comes down on the Golden Knight plus Bomber. That's going to be on tower. E-Giant comes down late, and that is basically going to be game because if you guys didn't know, when an Xbow's on tower, the E-Giant takes a super long time to take it out. So it's a perfect situation, and Boss didn't really get to play any good Lightnings. He does mirror his E-Giant, but Tyton's going to get back to a second Tesla. Boss, I don't know if he's back to Lightning or not. He might be. Okay, he is. But Tyton just has to get back to a second Fireball, actually, so he doesn't really care about this E-Giant. So just Log and Fireball, and that is going to be game against E-Giant Mirror Golden Knight against Boss. And I believe this actually put him like number 11 in the world or something at the time, like a few days before the other recording. Yeah, number 12, so insane stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.